How's it going, everyone? Chris here, and welcome back to another Nintendo Direct leak discussion video. In today's video, we are actually going to be taking a look at some information that has recently come out from a credible leaker regarding the upcoming Nintendo Direct. However, as always, and I cannot stress this enough, we have no idea if all of this information is going to end up being true or not, so make sure you guys take it with a grain of salt and realize that I'm talking about this just for fun. If you'd like to read along while I talk, you find the link to the original post in the description right down below. And now, with all that out of the way, I have to tell you guys where this leak came from. So guys, this leak was sent in to me by one of my subscribers on my Discord server, and it actually comes in 4 different parts. The first part that we are going to be taking a look at comes from NintendoEverything.com, and then the other parts we are going to be taking a look at come from Resetera.com, and it is divided into 3 different parts in which we take a look at what this credible leaker has to say. Once again, guys, we are going to get into why this guy is credible and all that information in this video. However, guys, all of these are text post leaks, so if you guys want to leave, go ahead and do so now. Otherwise, I do have one thing to tell you before we start. Guys, once we hit 20,000 subscribers, we are going to be doing another LEAKER official Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Tournament in which I give away a gift card to the winner. The only way that you guys can enter, however, though, guys, is if you are subscribed to the channel and also a member of the Discord server. So make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and with all of that out of the way, guys, let's jump into the newest leak. So, guys, like I said, the first part of this leak that we are going to be taking a look at comes from NintendoEverything.com, and it is titled, Rumor, February 2019 Nintendo Direct planned for next week, and it is posted by Brian. It starts by saying the last general Nintendo Direct aired last September. Based on that, this is officially the longest we've gone between presentations. Because of the lack of Nintendo Directs and uncertainty regarding which certain Switch games will be released this year, fans are getting a bit antsy. Depending on what you believe though, we may not have to wait much longer. It may seem a bit strange to be sharing a rumor about an upcoming Nintendo Direct, but stick with us here for a second. To put it simply, Reset Era user King Zell has suggested February 13th as a day the next presentation will air, or announced if nothing else. He wrote on the forum's Nintendo Direct speculation thread, 13 is your lucky number and I am out. You might be wondering why we should care about what this person has to say. We're generally against posting this sort of thing on this site, but King Zell has an interesting track record. He teased The World Ends With You Final Remix before it was announced, provided accurate information about last year's Pokemon Let's Go reveal event, and hinted at Animal Crossing being announced during last year's September Nintendo Direct before that actually happened. King Zell also knew there would be an indie presentation last month, several days before the indie highlights video was published. As for next week's supposed Nintendo Direct, King Zell says that Metroid Prime Trilogy will probably be there. He adds that Nintendo has a number of games to announce this year, not necessarily in the Nintendo Direct, including Pikmin 3, Super Mario Maker 2, and some sort of Box Boy, plus the latest 2D Zelda and Pokemon entries. Other than that, he says there are more third-party games on the way, including better Japanese support, possibly as ports. How much of this you want to believe is up to you. Of course, concerning the next Nintendo Direct, we should know in just a few days if there is truly something happening. Thanks to Jake for the tip. So now that we've gone over this entire post, guys, let's go ahead and actually take a look at what King Zell had to say. So guys, like I said, the next 3 pieces of information we are going to be taking a look at come from King Zell directly, and they were all posted on ResetEra.com. So first of all, guys, in a post on September 12th, 2018, King Zell says, well, I heard that tomorrow may be the day, and we might see some animals, but I am not sure. Now, if you guys don't know what this is referring to, basically, back in September, when we originally had the Direct scheduled for September 7th, it was actually pushed back because there was an earthquake in Japan, and since it was pushed back, a ton of people were wondering when the Direct was going to be. Well, it eventually got rescheduled for September 13th, and that's what a lot of people thought it was going to end up happening, but this guy actually correctly predicted that, and he also correctly predicted that Animal Crossing was going to be shown off for the Nintendo Switch, showing that he does have some kind of credibility. However, guys, if you still aren't convinced that this guy has credibility, let's go ahead and take a look at his other posts. So the next thing that King Zell says is, okay, here is what I got, guys. An indie showcase next week. The direct is still soon, but I doubt that it's going to happen in January. Now, if you guys were following the channel in January, then you guys know that I definitely thought we were going to get a direct in this past January. We got one for the past 2 Januaries, so it only made sense that they were going to post one in this January. However, they did not. All they did was release a bunch of mini trailers for like Yoshi's Crafted World and a couple of other games, and then they also did an indie showcase. Once again, this is another thing that King Zell correctly predicted, showing that he does have credibility. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the last bit of evidence that King Zell has said. And finally, guys, the last bit of information that we are going to take a look at from King Zell is that he correctly teased The World Ends With You for Nintendo Switch. Once again, guys, showing that he has a ton of credibility. So now that we've gone over everything that King Zell has said, let's go ahead and try to predict what is going to appear on this upcoming Nintendo Direct. So guys, I think the first and most obvious thing we have to talk about is the Metroid Prime trilogy. Ever since Metroid Prime 4 was officially delayed, everybody and their mother has started to speculate that we were going to get an HD remake of the Metroid Prime trilogy just to hold us over for a little while. Now, I understand that that might seem a little unlikely just because we did get a Metroid Prime trilogy on the Nintendo Wii. However, I think that this is the perfect time to do it. For a lot of people, myself included, I have not played all of the Metroid Prime games. I personally have played Metroid Prime 1 and Metroid Prime 3, but I have not played Metroid Prime 2. Yeah, I understand that's a little weird. Why would you play 1 and 3 but not 2? I don't know. I would have played 2 if it ends up coming to the Switch. Don't worry, guys. But I think for a lot of people, they probably only played 1 or 2 of those games, so getting the trilogy on the Nintendo Switch would be really awesome. You could take the Nintendo Switch anywhere, which means you can also play the Metroid Prime trilogy anywhere, which means a lot more people are going to get into Metroid Prime, and they are also going to want to play Metroid Prime 4. Personally, guys, I think that since Metroid Prime 4 is officially delayed, they are definitely going to do this as a way to hold us over. Next up, I know on NintendoEverything.com it said Pikmin 3 was going to be coming to the Switch, but I'm really hoping that was just a typo and instead we're going to end up getting Pikmin 4. I think that at this point, guys, if we don't end up getting an announcement of Pikmin 4 pretty soon, we are definitely going to get a port of Pikmin 3, just because it's been, what, like 6 years since the last Pikmin game? I think, Pikmin 3 was released in 2013, so yeah, it has been 6 years since we have last had a new Pikmin game on a Nintendo console, besides Hey Pikmin. We don't talk about Hey Pikmin. That game, just ignore that game, it never happened. So yeah, guys, I think that if we don't get an announcement of Pikmin 4 very soon, then Pikmin 3 is definitely going to be ported over to the Switch, just because it seems like Nintendo has been porting a ton of their games over recently, just because they didn't do very well on the Nintendo Wii U, and since they already have the games completely done, it just makes sense for them to port them over to the Nintendo Switch, just change some controllers around, slap a $60 price tag on that bad boy, and make a ton more money off of all of these great games. Next up, let's go ahead and talk about Super Mario Maker 2. Now guys, at this point, I am shocked that we don't already have at least a port of Super Mario Maker on the Nintendo Switch. Super Mario Maker was a phenomenal game, and if it was released at the beginning of the Wii U's lifespan, I have a feeling that the Wii U overall would have sold a lot better, but I think that's a topic for another video. For right now, let's just talk about Super Mario Maker 2 on the Nintendo Switch. Now, Super Mario Maker was a phenomenal game, like I said, and it would see extremely good success on the Nintendo Wii U. Now, I have a feeling I know why Nintendo hasn't already announced it, and that's because in Super Mario Maker for the Wii U, you could use the gamepad to build all of your levels and stuff like that, but with the Switch, it's going to be a lot more difficult. Since if you want to play the Switch in docked mode, you can't use the touchscreen, you're probably going to have to use a controller or something like that, so Nintendo is probably working on ways to make it that easier, the level building easier and stuff like that. But overall, guys, considering the Switch has already been out for over a year, I cannot believe we haven't even heard of a brand new Super Mario Maker. We are coming up on the Switch's 2-year anniversary, and if they don't announce it soon, it might end up like the Wii U's version of Super Mario Maker and not do as well as it could have if it just released a little bit earlier. And finally, guys, the last thing that I believe is going to show up on this upcoming Nintendo Direct is some new information about Pokemon Generation 8. Now, for those of you guys who don't already know, Pokemon is one of my favorite franchises of all times, and I am so excited to find out about these brand new HD games for the Nintendo Switch. Yeah, I understand we just got Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, but those aren't really my types of games. I really like the core RPG Pokemon games, and I really think that we are going to be getting information very soon. As you guys know, with all Pokemon games for the past 15 years or so, they always release in the fall, and they're usually the big holiday titles for Nintendo, so of course that's probably what's going to end up happening this year. I haven't really seen any games besides Pokemon that could be the big holiday seller, but it does look like Pokemon Generation 8 is what the game is going to be, so hopefully there are no delays or anything like that. And if there are no delays, and if they aren't pushing it back to 2020, then I think in this next Direct and at E3 at the absolute latest, we are definitely going to be getting some new information about the new Pokemon games. So guys, overall, do I believe that this league is real? As of now, guys, I gotta say, I am pretty sold. I think that this guy actually has some credible information, and that if we don't have a Direct on the 13th, which is in 2 days, then I think we are definitely at least going to have the announcement of one by then. However, guys, I want to hear what you guys have to say, so let me know about your thoughts in the comment section down below. Do you guys believe that a Nintendo Direct is coming very soon, or do you guys believe that Nintendo just isn't going to do one for a while? Why or why not? Thank you guys all so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, share, and like, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.